Hello and welcome to the draws for the draft order for the Ed Jones Invitational Dynasty League. Thank you very much for agreeing to play. It's going to be great fun. We're doing the draw for two drafts today. The first draft is the startup draft. It's going to be an email draft, so we won't all be sat around a computer at the same time like normal. And the draft starts today, so if you get the first pick, I'll be emailing you in about an hour and you can choose whoever you want. It's NFL players only in this first draft, okay? So until mid-August, NFL players only. You can't pick Sammy Watkins, you can't pick Teddy Bridgewater, okay? It's a standard snake draft. So if you have the first pick in the first round, you've got the last pick in the second round, the first in the third round, and so on. When it's your pick, I'll email you to say that it's your pick, the list of all the players who've been selected so far, and who is going to be drafting after you, okay? So when it's your pick, just email me, text me, Facebook me. I'll give you all the details in the top of the email that you'll get. There's no clock on the draft picks in the startup draft, okay? So we understand you live busy lives, we all do. The only thing I'll say is we've got 160 picks in this draft, so if we get one a day, we'll just about do it by mid-August when we need to do the rookie draft. So if you can just keep checking your email. I'll try and email you when it's your pick next, okay? So you've got a little bit of advance warning. The only other thing I'll say, draft pick trading is perfectly legal. If you want to do that, that's fine. And if you want to trade picks in the startup draft for picks in the rookie draft, that's up to you. That's entirely your decision. The only thing I'll ask is, if you agree a trade with somebody, you need to both email me. I don't get anything through the site because we're doing it via email. So you need to both email me if you make a trade, but you can do what you want in that regard. The order that I pull out today will be the order of the first round for the startup draft. It'll also be the reverse order for the first round of the rookie draft. So if you come out third today, you'll be 8th in the rookie draft, okay? Unlike the startup, the rookie draft, which will be on the computer in mid-August, is not a snake draft. If you have the first pick in the first round, you'll have the first pick in the second, third and fourth rounds. There's only 4 rounds in the rookie draft. If you want an explanation as to why that is, please email me and I'll explain. I won't bore you for ages with that. In that draft, in mid-August, around the computer, the rookies that are entering the league this year will be available, so you can pick Sammy Watkins then if you want. By the end of both the drafts, you need to have 1 team defense and 1 kicker on your roster. If you want to take them with your 3rd and 4th round picks in the rookie draft, that's absolutely fine. If you want to take them in the 3rd and 4th round of the snake draft that we're going to do by email until August, that's absolutely fine too. But by the end of both drafts, you have to have at least 1 defense and 1 kicker. For those of you who haven't been on the site yet, I've got an email with all of the settings and everything explained to save you trawling through all of the pages on the Flea Flicker site to understand what's going on with the league. If you haven't had that email, can you please let me or Ed know and I'll get it to you. It just saves so much time if I just explain via email. There was something else I needed to mention, but I can't remember what it was. So let's go ahead and do the draft. This is quite simple. There's a bowl with everyone's name in it. Are you alright, cameraman? Yeah. There's a bowl with everyone's name in it. There's a bowl with 5 bits of paper that say AFC and 5 that say NFC. I'm going to pull a name out. They'll have the first pick in the startup draft, and then I'll pull which division you're in, and we'll just go from there. I'd like to point out, this is not the FA Cup draw. I haven't had any in the freezer and any in the microwave for the last 5 minutes. There's no rigging goes on here. Can you just... I'm going to swirl them around. Right. That person there has the first pick in the Ed Jones Invitational Starter Draft. David Dean, you see that alright, yeah? Has the first pick. Right. And he is going to go into the AFC. This is just a draw to determine who's in each group. It doesn't really matter. So David's in the AFC with the first pick. So he has the choice of every NFL player he wants. Luke has second pick. Okay, you see that alright, yeah? Cool. So Luke's got the second pick. And that means that Luke will have the 9th pick in the rookie draft when we get to it in mid-August, and David will have the 10th pick, okay? And Luke goes into the NFC, okay? It doesn't matter which one you're in, it just determines who... Well, yeah, that's obvious. James Moran, there's 2 Jameses, James Moran and James Armstrong. and James Moran has the 3rd pick in the startup draft in the 1st round, and he goes into the NFC. Okay. Give him a shout. James Armstrong, there's the other James. He's got the 4th pick in the startup draft. Okay. And he will be in the NFC also. So we've got Luke, James and James in the NFC. Just David in the AFC at this point. Ed has the 5th pick in the startup draft. So he'll have the 6th pick in every round of the rookie draft, if you didn't understand earlier. And he goes into the AFC with David. So that's David and Ed in the AFC. The divisions, we can either keep the same divisions every year or we can shuffle them about every year. I'm open to suggestions on that, doesn't really matter to me. Whatever you guys think is fine. Lee Shannon, he goes into the 6th pick in the 1st round of the startup draft. And he's in the NFC also. So that's Luke, James Moran, James Armstrong and Lee Shannon in the NFC. 4 names left. Asger, that's not his real name. He's a Danish guy. For anyone, camera come back to me, thank you. I'm much prettier. Anyone who was in my 10-team league last year that I won, I'd just like to point out, he was Soren Belling in that. He's the Danish guy, that's his real name, I just know him as Asger. But he's as honest as the day is long, and he's a good fantasy player. So he's got the 7th pick, so he'll have the 4th pick in the rookie draft, and he goes in the AFC with David and Ed. There we go. He's Danish, he speaks perfect English, so if you ever want to contact him about a trade, he's a lovely guy, probably the nicest guy I know, so you can contact him, feel free, he doesn't bite. Mike, so that's Kinsham Vikings. Mike is 8th, so he'll have the 3rd pick in the August rookie draft, and he goes in the AFC also. So we got David, Ed, Soren and Mike in the AFC. Am I going to get the Sammy Watkins pick, or is Gaz? Please let this piece of paper say Gaz, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. Fuck off. You might have guessed that's me. So I've got the 9th pick in the 1st round of the snake draft, and 2nd pick in the rookie draft. And I won't declare who I already know I'm taking there, but. And I go into the NFC. So the NFC lineup is complete. We've got Luke with the 2nd pick, James with the 3rd, James Moran with the 3rd, James Armstrong with the 4th, Lee Shannon with the 6th, and myself with the 9th. And just to complete it, Gaz. Gaz is the only one who I don't believe we've had a definitive yes from yet. I've been trying to contact Eddie to get him to contact Gaz for weeks. It's not gone brilliantly, but we will get a yes from him very soon. If not, we'll replace him, but we'll get somebody in that pick by the time it's his pick. So Gaz has the last pick, but he'll have the 1st pick in every round of the rookie draft. And obviously, just to complete that, Gaz goes into the AFC. So in the AFC, you've got David with the 1st pick, Ed with the 5th, Soren, the Danish guy, with the 7th, Mike with the 8th, and Gaz with the 10th. Just to explain, just because that went quicker than I thought, most people who know what they're doing in fantasy football believe that in a startup draft, the 1st pick has a distinct advantage over the 10th pick. And that's why in the 3rd round, you usually reverse it. I can't be bothered with all of that. And so in the rookie draft, which is usually a snake for the first time, I've decided that we'll just have a standard, I don't know if you call it a ladder draft or something, where you don't reverse the order, and that's to balance it. So the person who gets 10th and has what some people believe a distinct disadvantage over the guy who gets picked first, has at least some compensatory picks because it doesn't reverse in the rookie draft. So I believe that balances it quite fairly. Next year, there'll only be a rookie draft, yeah? You get to keep 16 out of your 20 players, and So whoever is like the least good person, whoever ends up with the worst record, will have the first pick in the rookie draft next year. So we won't have to do another draw next year. So just to lastly run through the draw order again. This is for the startup draft, which we're about to do from now until August via email. David Dean, Luke Miller, James Moran, James Armstrong, Ed Jones, Lee Shannon, Soren Belling, Mike, I can't remember your name, sorry mate, but it's Kinshan Vikings Mike. I think he was in both of our leagues last year. Me, and then Gaz, who's the Cowboys fan, who was in Ed Jones's 12-team thing last year. There we are, thank you very much. I'll email you all of this, and I'll email you to the link on YouTube. I'll make it private, but you'll have a link. And then I'll email David now for his pick, and Luke, I'll email you just to tell you that you're second in line. And when you get an email from me, be ready to make a pick. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers. Bye-bye.